The TVWAN News is proudly brought to you by
Hello, this is TVWAN News. I'm Jasmine Irojak. In this edition, Wamayan welcomes new tanks under WASH project, EU Strait reaches thousands in Greater Sepik, and Raybid chairs board of PNG Rugby League NRL franchise. The Wamayan community of Yanguru Sausia District received 200 Tafa tanks provided through the office of the MP Richard Maru. The provision of tanks comes under the Water Sanitation and Hygiene project aimed at improving access to clean water, sanitation facilities, and promoting hygiene practices.
Following the launch of the Water, Sanitation and Hygiene project in Wamayang Village, Yanguru Sausia District, 200 Tafa tanks were donated to the community as part of the implementation phase of this project. Yanguru Sausia MP Richard Maru presented the tanks to the community. The 37 tanks were delivered first, followed by another 80. The remaining 83 be delivered soon. The tanks cost at least 1.2 million kina in total.
Launch blow wash project blame lo wamayan. Maybe by honoring commitment blame you plan put him 10% equity blame you plan, and maybe by delivering 200 tanks to the Wamayan families.
Wamayan's representative for women, Wilma Wama, said the tanks will help relieve locals from walking long distances to collect water, a daily practice for Wamayang's women folk.
Maus lo mama lo dislavi nun. Tok thank you lu manda. Mi plan look way back. But mi plan look back lord mama plan mi plan. Time long lord kari mambuya.
Wama said the community has also been struggling with accessing clean water. The tanks will address this issue and establish effective hygiene practices in the community. Maru added that other plans are in place to establish a market facility and a police post for the community.
Welcome. Wamayan ba yubla kama wambla asset blo district blo mibla yubla by running market police service ba yubla running blo here.
The implementation of tanks paves the way for these developments.
For the first time in more than 40 years, the Livestock Development Corporation certified 28 officers who successfully completed a week-long public service induction program delivered by the Somare Institute of Leadership and Governance. According to LDC's Human Resources, 35 employees have now undergone the public service induction program. The officers, who represent various departments of the organization, are now fully fledged public servants. LDC Managing Director Terry Coim said this program prepares these officers for their roles as pioneer employees of the forthcoming Livestock Industry Authority.
We will work with the government of the day to serve the people of this country.
Tamamaye, a song in the Motuan dialect, is now popular abroad. This song replicates the Lord's Prayer, the Our Father. It was composed by Lagi Youth Ministry, a vibrant gospel group from Vabukori village. The ministry is humbled to hear that many people around the world are singing the song. Tamamaye is a Motuan worship song replicating the universal Lord's Prayer, the Our Father. Tamamaye is well known across the country and is now sung globally. The song was composed by Lagi Youth Ministry and individuals who are proud they are able to share the grace of God with millions around the world through this significant prayer turned into a song. According to ministry leader Venice Moses, many covers of the song are being recorded of Tama Maye. While many may not be familiar with the language or the lyrics, the song brings anointing, peace, and love.
So when the Lord's Prayer, Tama Maye, when we sat down, that song was a group of us, the young people came together. Judah Memafu, Reta Moses, Sylvia Messina, most of them were pastors to kids. And they, Darren Raimo, we all came together with Lagi Youth Ministry, and then we incorporated, or we came up with Tama Maye, or the Lord's Prayer. That was for a missions program at Reverend Sonny Kami United Church. That song came out there. And then from that time, that's probably 2018, 2019, 2020, up to today, that song has gone all over the world.
Ms. Moses said another song that makes waves in PNG and abroad is Tanobada, also a worship song composed by Pari local Vagi Frank. She said the song has also gained popularity even as far as Europe.
How it came out was when we were hosting YWAM Youth with a Mission groups here. Before the jetty, their current base here at the jetty was set up. So we'd host them here and we'd teach them that song, Tanobada. And that was their way of blending with us. The most effective way to communicate was to teach them songs in Motu. So when we taught them the song Tanobada, and they took it back to when they sang it in their outreaches here, it was very effective. So when they took it back, they started teaching their friends at Townsville or wherever their base was the song Tanobada. So I had a call from Vagi Frank to say thank you. Thank you, Lagi Ministry, because these songs are inspired by the Holy Spirit.
Lagi Youth Ministry believes it is fulfilling its purpose by sharing the word of God through song and dance. Its members look forward to creating more covers and composing more songs to keep the mission going. A huge rally for the Usino-Bundi by-elections was organized on Friday at the Ramushuga Valley field in Medang. People turned up in numbers to listen to 27 candidates, including rally host and candidate Peter Yama, speak on policies in their race for the MP seat. Yama is contesting a seat he once held. While doing this, he is also pursuing an election petition challenging the results of the 2022 Medang provincial seat, which he lost to Ramsey Pariwa. Unfortunately, candidate Nick Kamuti was the only other candidate who turned up besides the host. He urged his people be smart about the type of leadership they want and one that will deliver for them.
You mean Bagrab Manna Mary. You mean Ramis Manna Mary. You mean need him leadership.
12 remandees are on the run, including a 13th man who aided their escape from the Kundiawa police station cell while waiting to be transported to Barawagi jail in Chimbu province. Chimbu Provincial Police Commander Superintendent Mazuk Rubiang confirmed that the suspects escaped on Tuesday, June the 17th. Rubiang said from the preliminary findings, the person who aided the escape is an auxiliary police officer who was authorized by the officer in charge of the cell to be the caretaker of the cell key that evening. A woman is among the 13 who escaped from the police station cell while detained and waiting to be transported to Barawagi. PPC Rubiang added that an investigation is underway and that 4 regular cops and 2 reservists have been suspended for 21 days pending the investigation. This is TVWAN News. Stay tuned for more after the break.
fire, mama.
You wait time, but me add him special flavor.
Put in more flavor, put in more taste. Magic Kakaru, get up a big smile on face. Time for Kim chicken, a great kumutu. Sip, sip, the moo, yes, magic on you.
Maggi, the taste P&G loves.
Tell him shorty come get it. Come grind on me, but me did it. Mommy get loose, get loose, get loose. Pepsi in my hand, ice cold, no excuse. I tell him who's gonna bring that roof down. Pepsi with that fresh sound. Tell him who's gonna bring that roof down. Pepsi with that fresh sound. Pepsi, give me some Pepsi bottle. Pepsi, you like it? Pepsi, you like it? Pepsi bottle.
For Simon, life is simple. Dreams seem distant, yet hope remains. One ticket, one dream. Simon's world changed forever. Yes! From small dreams to big possibilities. The one-top jackpot is here for everyone. Win big every day.
We are celebrating the final chapter of the Asian story.
And now hands in the air. And now crisscross.
This is the India Community Day here at the Sir Hubert Murray Stadium.
Thanks for staying with us. In the remote highlands of Papua New Guinea, determined young adults are training to become community health workers. They are equipped with faith, supported by Mission Aviation Fellowship, and driven by the urgent needs of their people. Trainee health worker Safraid Kuri knows what it means to watch loved ones suffer without medical help. In his remote village of Duran Min, located in Papua New Guinea's remote highlands near the Kenu River, a tributary of the Ok-Om River, Duran Min is a 12 to 15-minute flight or a 2-day trek from its district center of Telefomin. There are no medically trained people and no road in or out. His dream became possible through Mission Aviation Fellowship flights and the CHW school in Telefomin, which offers a 2-year training program to students from across PNG. Of the current 64 students, many, like Safraid, depend entirely on MAF to reach the school. The European Union-funded United Nations Joint Strait Program in Papua New Guinea commenced its active implementation phase in January of 2020. Today, the program has reached out to more than 500,000 individuals, supported over 700 MSMEs, and trained well over 33,000 farmers in the Greater Sepik region.
The European Union-funded United Nations Joint Strait Program in Papua New Guinea for 5 years now has been fostering sustainable economic development in the country through enhanced value chains of cocoa, vanilla, and fisheries. Their four-pronged approach is simple: create an enabling environment by improving transport infrastructure, rural entrepreneurship, and digital and financial inclusion, building the capacity of farmers, providing quality inputs, tools, and equipment, and engaging government and other key partners for sustainability. When asked which value chain is the most productive, Program Coordinator Ali Yusuf emphasized that by design, the most significant part of the program is the cocoa value chain.
By design, the most significant part of the EU Straight PNG program is the cocoa. And most of the resources are dedicated to cocoa value chain development. And I think if we see it in that vein, if you ask me in terms of the biggest contribution to the economic development, to earning revenue, cocoa would constitute the largest and the most transformative interventions we have had. But it is by design. It was designed to be large. It was designed to be at scale. Look at that, approximately 5 million seedlings we expected to achieve. Over 300 million kina revenue we generated. This is very, very transformative. So
vanilla also proves to have great potential in the value chain, with the program having provided more than 770,000 healthy vanilla vines to farmers and established 20 vanilla treatment sheds across the Greater Sepik region. Yusuf says PNG has good vanilla, underscoring that PNG is well placed to play a bigger role in the global vanilla market.
I've taken Papua New Guinean delegation to Madagascar for them to see how Madagascar engaged in vanilla development and how they managed to be #1 vanilla exporters in the world. And Papua New Guinea is well placed to play as much role and be a big player in the global vanilla market. So our work in the Sepiks, I think it is, if it is strengthened, if it is sustained over a longer period of time, I think Papua New Guinea can find itself being a key player in the vanilla, export market. And this is a high value commodity. It's not bulk. And with some investments, a good result can be achieved. In our statistics, the evidence that we gathered, where 33 million additional revenue has been achieved by 2024, is an indication of the prospects of Papua New Guinea.
The EU Straight PNG program since 2020 has been working to strengthen key agribusiness value chains, cocoa, vanilla, and fisheries, while improving access to digital services, financial inclusion, transport infrastructure, and renewable energy solutions. Maricela Kelleton, TVWAN News.
The Papua New Guinea Forest Authority has renewed partnership with global inspection, verification, testing, and certification company SGS. This marks a significant step in safeguarding the nation's forestry resources and revenue streams. With its latest plan to go into downstream processing, SGS is a vital partner. Following a meeting on June the 22nd between PNG-FA and SGS, both parties have committed to resolving past differences and modernizing collaboration. The agreement ensures the recommencement of crucial export monitoring services and paves the way for a new long-term agreement to be signed before the end of 2025. The discussions addressed a recent dispute that had led to the suspension of SGS's services. A key focus of the renewed partnership will be enhancing PNG-FA's internal capabilities. Under the renewed understanding, both organizations will work towards a fresh start, setting aside previous disagreements. Australian Minister Pat Conroy this afternoon delivered remarks at the 40th Australia PNG Business Forum to highlight Australia's support for PNG's continued economic growth as its largest trading and investment partner. The minister spoke also to the close people-to-people relations between both countries and the investment in PNG rugby team.
Our relationship is incredibly strong. Our prosperity in Australia is based on your prosperity. You cannot have a safe and prosperous Australia without a safe and prosperous Papua New Guinea. The PNG Rugby League announcement is an economic as well as a people-to-people announcement. Our common sporting heritage is there for all to see. I'm looking forward to coming back in 2028 for the first game. That will not only bring our people together, it will grow the economy of Papua New Guinea like you've never seen before.
And now the finance news. The kina closed lower at $0.2429 in the interbank market. At Bank South Pacific, our kina was buying $0.2354 $0.3613 Australian dollars, $0.1951 euro, and 34 Japanese yen. Looking at commodity prices at New York close, coffee and cocoa closed higher, gold, copper, palm oil, and crude oil closed lower. Copper closed the day unchanged. And on the stock market, the Dow Jones closed higher, the ASX closed higher, and all ordinaries closed higher as well. TV1 News continues after the break. Stay with us.
A true champion is measured by their courage, their determination, and their passion to never give up and to always keep trying. With a delicious Milo in milk taste and added nutrients, Milo in milk is a great way to fuel our little champions with nourishing energy every day. Because true champions give it their all.
Milo, PNG and Mia. Buying PNG made.
A quick favorite meal for the day does feel good. Snacks noodles is my choice for a simple meal. It is easy to prepare and fast to cook. And with a touch of flavor and ingredients, quality noodles that can be cooked and enjoyed in many different ways. You see, my whole family loves it. It's made here in PNG and comes in different pack sizes. Snacks noodles, tastier but you like it more.
How would you describe your mother?
My mom is beautiful.
She is strong like Superman.
I love my mom because she always takes care of me.
My mom, she's so patient and loving. I feel she's always around.
Karen, she works so hard and always wants the best for me.
She's soft like her love.
My mom is everything, and I don't know what I'd do without her.
Softland, fragrance of a mother's love.
The PNG LNG project has now generated more than 30 billion kina for Papua New Guinea since production commenced. Nearly half of this amount has been paid as tax. Equity distributions are paid to KPHL and MRDC based on the interest they hold. Tax is paid to the IRC, while development levies and royalties are paid to DPE. For more information on direct and indirect benefits, visit PNG EITI's website.
Derek Bury is back and on the hunt for rusted relics.
47 Studebaker. Come on, bring the thunder.
Roadworthy Rescue starts Monday, July 7 on Turbo.
Back in the country.
Thanks for staying with us. Turning overseas, China's bold words on the Israel-Iran war mask a deeper truth. It's defending itself, not Tehran, and its influence is weaker than it looks. U.S. President Donald Trump has said a ceasefire is imminent, declaring an end to what he called the 12-day war. But Iran has pushed back, saying no agreement has been reached. Tehran's message was conditional. It would hold fire only if Israel ended what it described as illegal aggression, leaving the diplomatic picture murky. Amid that uncertainty, Chinese President Xi Jinping made a high-profile move on the global stage, with Beijing submitting a draft UN Security Council resolution calling for an immediate and unconditional ceasefire between Israel and Iran. The move followed a rare and sharply worded rebuke from Beijing, condemning the U.S. for bombing Iranian nuclear sites, calling it a violation of international law and a serious threat to regional stability. Many Australians are trying to evacuate the Middle East amid fears about the escalating conflict.
Though these Iranian missile barrages continue to send millions scrambling for shelters at all times of the day and night, the phrase that is repeatedly uttered to us is that Iran poses an existential threat to the state and to the people of Israel. And therefore, this action by the Israeli military, which has now been joined in a currently limited capacity by the United States, is a good thing. It is taking out a threat to these people. Regardless of that, of course, this has been a dramatic escalation in the tensions here in the Middle East, and Israel is showing very little sign of pulling back from some of its military campaign, its military offensive in Iran. In the last couple of hours, we have heard that 6 airports across the country have been targeted by the Israeli Air Force. There is no word at this stage as to what casualties there have been inside Iran. That information very hard to come by, but it is something that many will be watching very, very closely as this situation potentially deteriorates even further.
Meanwhile, Australian travellers have so far been spared flight cancellations or major disruptions, despite global airlines avoiding areas of conflict in the Middle East or suspending services altogether. Flight trackers show airlines are avoiding airspace over Iran, Iraq and Israel, while some have cancelled services to areas on the southern side of the Gulf. Australian Travel Industry Association Chief Executive Dean Long said many international airlines had been forced to reroute, particularly those flying through key transit hubs like Doha and Dubai. Yesterday, Israel's Airports Authority said so-called rescue flights to the country would expand to 24 a day, although each flight would be limited to 50 passengers. Israeli airline said it had received applications to leave the country from about 25,000 people in about a day. Meat grown in a lab may once have seemed like something out of science fiction, but it could be on Australian menus within months. The food regulator has just approved a cell-cultured meat for sale, declaring it safe to eat.
This might look like a high-end restaurant dish, but its origins are surprising.
Thank you.
The meat didn't come from an animal, it was grown in a factory.
We can grow meat from any animal.
First, cells from the animal are put in a giant tank like this and then multiplied to form a paste, which is then turned into a mince or pate.
What we do is we put the cells in a nutrient broth. So there's amino acids, sugars, and that is what is actually allowing the cells to grow in a way that's very similar to what you'd see in a brewery.
Professor Dora Marinova from Curtin University says consumers will want to know what the health and environmental impacts of lab-grown meat are.
We know that it requires much less land, but there are some questions asked around the use of energy because it's quite an energy-intensive process.
Another question is the viability of the business model, according to Professor Paul Wood.
I think the biggest issue is cost and scale. This is an expensive product to make. You need special equipment, you need expensive media.
The food safety approval might seem like the biggest hurdle for the product in Australia,
But the bigger question is, will consumers want to buy it?
Would you try lab-grown meat?
Yes, I would. As long as there's controls in place to make sure that the lab-grown meat's safe, why not?
Yeah, it's a bit weird. Like, meat's meat, why is it grown in a lab?
Yeah, I think I'd want to know more before I attempt it.
Lab to plate could be on the menu within months.
New border restrictions are in place for travellers trying to get from Thailand to Cambodia, with tourists now blocked from making the crossing by land. Thailand's Prime Minister has announced the new rules as relations between the two countries continue to deteriorate amid a border dispute. The two countries have announced tit-for-tat restrictions following the death of a Cambodian soldier in a contested border area late last month. While the two sides have agreed to de-escalate their dispute, they continue to implement or threaten measures that have kept tensions high. Thailand's Prime Minister Paetongtarn Shinawatra said on Monday Thailand would boost screening at land borders and block departing tourists. Ms. Paetongtarn said that only students, medical patients, and others who need to purchase essential goods would be allowed to enter or leave Thailand. The Australian Medical Association is sounding the alarm over a decline in Western Australia's childhood immunisation rates. The organisation's departing president says recent public health campaigns haven't worked and has warned deadly diseases will re-emerge if rates continue to fall.
Finishing up his term as WA President of the AMA and is using his last days to sound the alarm over childhood vaccinations.
If our vaccination rates for children drop much lower, we will be sort of sitting below a herd immunity threshold for some of these childhood illnesses, and we will see them spread, and we will see long-term disability and death in children.
Dr Page says diseases like measles, diphtheria and whooping cough will return if the government doesn't make vaccinations its top public health priority.
They've never seen them, so they don't understand that they are actually very serious illnesses. And if you've never seen it, maybe there's a bit of complacency there.
WA's childhood vaccination rates lag behind the country at every age. For 1 and 2-year-olds, WA's rates are the worst in the nation. By the time they reach 5, WA kids rank third last when it comes to full immunisation.
The vaccinations are absolutely safe. They've been used for many decades. And yet we're seeing a reluctance of parents to vaccinate their children, which is just extraordinary.
Since 2020, childhood vaccination rates in WA have dropped between 2 and 3%. Experts say misinformation is one of the biggest roadblocks.
Governments need to be putting out communications and addressing misinformation and disinformation that people are exposed to, or particular worries that often emerge in particular communities.
Making vaccinations accessible, in particular for people in the regions, is an ongoing challenge.
If we want our immunisation programs to flourish, it has to be incredibly easy for people to be vaccinated.
She says despite the AMA's concerns, compared to the rest of the world, Australia is still well ahead.
Indonesian authorities have arrested 285 people for suspected drug trafficking. Those arrested include 1 Australian, 29 women and 7 foreigners. The head of the National Narcotic Agency, Martinez Hukom, said the crackdown, launched between April and June across 20 provinces, also uncovered money laundering schemes by 2 drug syndicates. Mr. Hukom said the arrested women were mostly housewives. One of the agency's deputies, Budi Wibowo, said authorities seized 683 kilograms of crystal meth, marijuana, ecstasy, THC, hashish, and amphetamines. The United Nations Office on Drugs and Crime says Indonesia is a major drug smuggling hub, in part because international drug syndicates target its young population. In 2023, authorities uncovered more than 52,000 of drug cases and confiscated 6.2 tons of crystal meth, 1.1 tons of marijuana, and other types of synthetic narcotics, said Mohammed Hassan of Indonesia's Ministry of Security Affairs. You're watching TVWAN News. We'll be right back with sports.
jackpot is rolling over week on week. 500,000 Kina. Get your tickets now. Draws every Friday at 7:30 p.m. Play now at 321lotto.com.pg or any of your 321 authorized retailer. 321. Win big every day.
New Fabuloso multi-purpose cleaner with an irresistible fragrance that lasts all day long, creating a field of flowers in every corner of your home with an irresistible fragrance that lasts and lasts all day long. Fabuloso, irresistible fragrance.
Rugby league is a powerful force that unites Papua New Guinea and develops our youth. Through partnerships with the PNG LNG Kumals, Grassroots Rugby League and Justin Olam, we aim to instill skills to last a lifetime.
I'm community blue. When it's on you welcome, I'm come up community. You must not community.
When we invest in people, we invest in tomorrow's possibilities.
You sabe tu awesome condom and one way where you can abrusim seek HIV, STI na unplanned pregnancy. Tingim, use him condom long right way. Stop safe na look out him you yet. Use him condom all get a time. Suppose you know save long HIV status long partner blog you or suppose you got plenty partner. Use him condom good all get a time. Long haborus him sick HIV, STI na unplanned pregnancies. Use him condom banis him you yet na future blog you. This platok save ikam long National AIDS Council Secretariat.
As one storm stops, another starts. Nice pass off. Here's Xavier and some space. Still going.
It was last October. It was raining. When I hit something. I got out the car and I looked around. I checked, I didn't see anything, and I figured it was a deer that ran off.
Okay, what's the problem?
I got called for jury duty. The Kendall Carter case?
1 year ago, on October 25th, the defendant, James Scythe, and his then girlfriend, Kendall Carter, they had a fight. And he's gonna pay for what he did.
What are you telling me?
Maybe I didn't hit a deer.
Let me just ask you one thing. Did you guys ever look at any other suspect? You know what to do.
Juror 2 premieres Saturday, July 5th, 9 p.m. on HBO.
Welcome back. A board consisting 8 members were announced today in Port Moresby to lead the new PNG Rugby League franchise in the NRL. The new board was announced by Prime Minister James Marape in the presence of PNG NRL CEO Andrew Abdor and Chairman of Australia Rugby League Commission Peter Vlandis. Former Bulldogs chairman and successful businessman Ray Bidd is the chairman of the inaugural PNG NRL team.
Members of the inaugural PNG Rugby League NRL franchise board are Ray Deeb, Lorna McPherson, Richard Pegum, Stan Joyce Wapusong, Ian Tarutia, and Marcus Bai. The board is expected to lead the PNG NRL team and prepare the franchise ahead of her NRL entry in 2028. Prime Minister James Marape had the honor of announcing the board. He also highlighted the significance of a PNG team in the NRL and showed confidence in the board he announced.
Today's occasion is principally for me to announce the board. They will be running this team from a business perspective. 2 governments will stay away from it. We will give support, but we will have no hand in the way the team is run. It is a sports and sports business. So for us, having competent competency at the board level and competency at the business unit level ensures we not just game ready in 2028, but more importantly, the team is sustained going forward into the future.
The Prime Minister further said this event signifies a long-standing relationship of support and collaboration between PNG and Australia.
For us, it's not just rugby league as a sport, entertainment and business. It was a national unification strategy. We want to unite this diverse nation beyond rugby league, beyond one team. It will be one team, one people, one nation going forward.
Australia's Minister for Pacific Island Affairs, Pat Conroy, reiterated that the PNG Rugby League team in the NRL is a national unification strategy that can unite the diverse country. He also said this can strengthen the relationship of both countries in the region.
This team is a national unification project, as Prime Minister Marape said. It is truly his Mandela vision that I'm inspired by. But also bring the people of Australia and PNG together. And that's one of the many reasons the Australian government is backing it. It will unite our two great nations.
The new board will be working in collaboration with the NRL, PNG NRL franchise CEO Andrew Hill, and relevant stakeholders to deliver a sustainable and competitive football franchise come 2028. Rex Litter, TVWAN Sports.
In a significant turn of events for Team PNG, all outstanding athlete levy fees have now been settled, ensuring their participation in the upcoming Pacific Mini Games in Palau. The PNG Olympic Committee was previously facing the potential exclusion of certain sporting codes due to funding shortfalls and insufficient government support.
Following urgent discussions between the PNG Olympic Committee and key stakeholders regarding funding challenges, an agreement was reached just after the deadline lapsed on June 18. This resolution means that the team can now travel to Palau without any further financial hindrance. Kini Vanagi Karo, the chief de mission for Team PNG, provided an encouraging update confirming that all outstanding fees have been addressed, allowing the athletes to concentrate fully on their performance. However, it is unfortunate that the female volleyball team will not be able to make the journey. Caro remains hopeful that the government will fulfill its commitment at the last minute. As the countdown continues with only 6 days left until departure on June 27 and 28, excitement is building and a warm welcome awaits Team PNG in Koror. Caro also assured that all accommodations and logistics for the team have been finalized ahead of their arrival. Additionally, a farewell event for Team PNG is scheduled for Wednesday, June 25 from 4 p.m. to 6 p.m. at the Tarama Aquatic Center, providing an opportunity for supporters to bid good luck to the athletes before they head off to represent PNG on the international stage. The Pacific Mini Games 2025 is scheduled from June 29 to July 9, 2025 in Koror and will feature athletes from 23 Pacific nations competing across 12 sports. PNG will compete in 9 sports. Terry Longwood, TV1 Sports.
The 9th Palm Rackets Club Open, held over the weekend, showcased expectational talent for Ley and Mount Hagen players, marking another successful and eventful weekend of tennis and squash. The Palm RC Open attracted tennis and squash enthusiasts to witness more than 60 matches. The competition involved 60 tennis players and 35 squash players from Ley Tennis Club, Mount Hagen Squash, Can Squash and Daisy Hill Brisbane Squash.
Making a notable appearance at the Port Moresby Rackets Club Open were youngsters from Ley Tennis Club who showcased a commendable finish. Though fresh hands to the event, the Ley team bagged a few medals in the following categories. In the Under-14 girls runner-up was Cassandra Thomas. In the Under-18 girls plate winner, Irene Jones. The Palm Rackets Club said the overall performance was impressive as players showcased skill, passion and sportsmanship with fierce tennis and squash matches exchanged with the best named champions of their respective categories. The results for the squash men's final saw Fino Sieguru take down defending title holder Josh Potter in 3 games, while defending the 2024 Ladies Open, Amity Alakos retained her title in a match against Gabriella Cox. The men's tennis Open final concluded prematurely as 2024 winner Sugar Ray Hakena retired due to injury, with the previous year's winner Levi Evio claiming the title. Rising tennis sensation Kolita Hakena proved her supremacy to win a back-to-back title in the Ladies Open. Susan Oreape, TVWAN Sports.
Cricket Australia has commended Pacific Oz Sports in collaboration with the Australian government for its significant initiative in advancing women's cricket across the region during the inaugural Pacific Oz Sports Women's Cricket Invitational. The tournament concluded successfully on Saturday at the Amini Cricket Park in Port Moresby, featuring a week-long round-robin competition among 4 women's teams from Papua New Guinea, Vanuatu, Samoa, and an Australian Indigenous team.
Brad Wood, head of government relations at Cricket Australia, attended the invitational event to witness firsthand the impact of this initiative, which is a key component of Cricket Australia's partnership with the Australian government, specifically the Department of Foreign Affairs under the Pacific Ausports programs. Wood emphasized the tournament as a pivotal element of the partnership aimed at creating pathways for women in cricket within the region. He highlighted the importance of this competition for developing national teams from Papua New Guinea, Vanuatu, Samoa, and the Australian Indigenous women's team.
It's been great to see a lot of these girls have been in their respective pathways in their countries, which has been great. A lot of them have come through the under-19s and now playing in the senior squads. The opportunity to get that competition within the region, not having to travel that far to sort of be able to do it here in Port Moresby. As I said, a number of the girls that play in the Indigenous women's team for Australia either play for their states or play in the Big Bash as well. So there's a lot of really talented cricketers out there. So I think to be able to continue to play at this level and what it means, hopefully then we see those results, as I said, in terms of qualification for global events going forward.
He noted the tournament's relevance and upcoming qualifications for the Women's World Cup, particularly highlighting the need for regional teams to prepare adequately for the qualifying event in Fiji this September. Woods expressed admiration for the skills and the competitiveness exhibited throughout the tournament, with many players emerging from the under-19 pathway programs. He praised the inclusion of the Australian Indigenous women's team, indicating that their participation not only provided intense competition, but also established a benchmark for the growth of women's cricket in the Pacific.
Only going from strength to strength, and we've seen that in recent times with PNG in terms of their qualification. Samoa, great performances, particularly through the under-19 level. Vanuatu as well, really strong performances, but I guess importantly what we're now starting to see is those consistent performances coming through, and that strength to the depth of the squads, whether it be women, whether it be men, as I said, particularly that under-19s level.
The inaugural Pacific Ausports Women's Cricket Invitational represents a significant step forward in fostering women's cricket in the Pacific, ensuring not just competitive opportunities, but also creating a platform for cultural exchange and skill enhancement among participating nations. Terry Longwood, TV1 Sports.
The Papua New Guinea Leoas have finally lifted the trophy as champions of the Pacific Oz Sports Cricket Invitational with PNG, finishing top of the ladder after an emphatic 94-run victory over Samoa women in the final round of the tournament held Saturday the 21st of June at Amini Park.
After 6 days of competitive cricket, the PNG Leoas delivered a high-performance Round 2 Match 12 to seal the title with a run rate of 1.6461 and 10 points, narrowly edging out Australia Indigenous women 1.4221, who also finished on 10 points. In the final clash between PNG Levas and Samoa women, the Levas displayed an all-round dominant performance, starting with winning the toss and electing to bat first. The PNG Levas posted a strong total of 138 for 6 in their allotted 20 overs. The opening partnership laid score count to win with Nana Vare anchoring the innings with a composed 30 runs from 43 balls, striking 3 boundaries before falling to a return catch by Samoa's Tuaola Helen Semau. Partnering her earlier on was Melanie Ani, who contributed a steady 19 of 20 deliveries, keeping the scoreboard ticking. Momentum picked up in the middle overs with Henao Jean Thomas providing a quick-fire 20 of 17 balls, including 2 boundaries. She was supported by Pauke Siaka, who made a brisk 9 of just 6 balls, and Holland Doriga, whose aggressive knock of 18 of 10 deliveries propelled the Levas past the 120-run mark late in the innings. The winning touches were expertly delivered by PNG Levas' young talent, Lashmi Raja Durai and Isabel Toa, both remaining unbeaten. Toa, in particular, with a sharp cameo of 10 runs off 4 balls, slapping 2 boundaries to take PNG to a competitive 138. Samoa team were bowled out for just 44 runs in 11 overs as the PNG bowling attack dismantled the batting lineup with ruthless precision. From the outset, Samoa lost wickets at regular intervals. The fielding was equally sharp with direct runouts and tight catching backing up the bowlers. No Samoa batter managed to reach the double figures. PNG Levas' Henao Yen Thomas was named player of the 6-day cricket action. Terry Longwood, TV1 Sports.
Coca-Cola Euro-Pacific Partners has supported Lay's biggest family event, the Rosso Mountain Bike Race, with 25,000 kina. The event, to be hosted at the Lay Showgrounds, is scheduled for this weekend from June the 27th to the 29th.
Coca-Cola Euro-Pacific Partners has come on board as the gold sponsor of the Rosso Mountain Bike Race in Lay, Morobe Province with 25,000 kina. Lay City's biggest family event will be hosted at the Lay Showgrounds from Friday, June 27th to Sunday, June 29th. Commercial Director of CCEP PNG, Tim Solly, presented a dummy check of 25,000 kina to event organizer Mine Winnie.
We're very excited by this, and we're leading with our Boo brand, which is all about energy. And obviously, the Rosso Cup being all about riders expelling lots of energy and needing energy, we thought no better brand than to associate it with Boo, which is our energy brand. So we actually take our role in the societies that we operate to be really serious, and that's the reason we sponsor a lot of these events, including cultural events as well. And this year we're going to be sponsoring probably the largest number of different initiatives and activities as well as cultural events, obviously in recognition of the 50th year of independence.
Winnie outlined that over 800 riders have registered for this weekend's bike race, with most of them being from bike clubs in Lay.
We have riders from the Horn district, from Munum we have a club there, and we also have bikers from coming from the Lolo side, and a few from around the districts. But most of the riders are from the Lay area.
Rex Litter, TV1 Sports.
And that ends the sports segment. We'll now have the weather forecast. Regional forecast. Southern, Port Moresby partly cloudy, Alotau cloudy with continuous rain showers and thunderstorms. Momase, Lay partly cloudy, Wewak partly cloudy with chances of few showers, Vanimo partly cloudy with some rain showers. New Guinea Islands, Lorengau partly cloudy with few showers rain, and Boka cloudy with rain showers and possible thunderstorm. Highlands, Goroka Bands and Kundiawa partly cloudy with possible few showers. Ocean forecast, coral seas. Seas rather rough to rough with easterly to southeast winds of 25 to 33 knots. Solomon Sea, Seas light to moderate to rough at times over southeastern sector, with northeast to southeast winds of 10 to 20 knots, reaching 25 to 33 knots at times over southeastern sector. Bismarck Sea smooth to slight with easterly to southeast winds of 5 to 15 knots. Pacific Ocean, sea slight with easterly to southeast winds of 10 to 15 knots. And coastal waters forecast: waters of southern PNG Indonesian border to Daru to Kiwai, to Hood Point to Samarai Island, and waters of New Island and Bougainville, sea 0.5 to 1.5 meters, rising to 2 to 3 meters along warning areas. Waters east of Samarai Island to Cape Vogel and Almelin Bay Islands, seas 1.5 to 2.5 meters, rising to 3 meters. Waters of Finchofin through Vitia Strait to CSC Island to Dampier Strait to Long Island to Medang, seas 1 to 2 meters. Waters north of Cape Vogel to Horn Gulf to Finchofin and waters of New Britain, sea 0.5 to 1.5 meters. That ends the news tonight. Thanks for watching. Bye now.
The TVWAN News was proudly brought to you by